Alright guys, so update on the old Trashsport here. I know it's been a while since my first two videos on it. So I spent a while trying to break the engine loose, soaking the pistons. I bought the old crank, the crank attachment where you can really crank on it. Nothing broke loose, so then I was like, all right, this boat really isn't worth it if I can't break the engine loose. So then I said, okay, I'm going to donate it, and I contacted a specific donation program, and they said they'll take it. And then that was 6 months ago. They never came and got it. I tried to reach out a bunch of times. They kept saying, yep, we'll come get it, we'll come get it. And over 6 months I never heard back. So I'm going with option B, and option B is to scrap it, cut it up, try to scrap in what metal and stuff, try to sell the trailer, stuff like that, because it's just not worth it. If the motor's not good, then I don't want to pay a bunch of money for, you know, paying someone to go scrap it when I can just cut it up and scrap the metal myself, and then try to sell the trailer, because the trailer's still good. It's a steel trailer, but I mean, it's still a good trailer. I have new wheels for it, which I had gotten originally. So that's the plan, is to cut it apart and scrap it, get it all loaded, taken to the dump, cut up into smaller pieces so the dump will take it, and I go throw it out there, and then I'll scrap in the metal pieces. I'll probably salvage whatever pieces I can off of it, like hose clamps, stuff like that. But yeah, and then I'll get a good idea of the bunks and stuff. But I'll check back in with you guys a little bit. But I'm gonna start ripping it apart and rip off all the metal first that I can salvage, and then just basically take a sawzall to it and cut up into pieces that'll fit my trailer, and will allow the landfill to take it. So yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but the engine just wouldn't come loose, and I'm going to pull the engine apart so we can look inside of it. I'm curious to what it looks like inside of it. Also, to mention, I did try to change the oil, pull the oil out, and I sucked out like a gallon of water out of the bottom of the crankcase. So I was like, yeah, this probably isn't going to go very far. So yeah, I'll check in as I cut it apart. Thanks. Alright guys, here's an update. Been at this for 4 or 5 hours. The middles, all the fiberglass and stuff's all gutted out, laying around over there. Tail end's off. All the wiring, everything's gutted out of it. Gotta start working on the shell and stuff. I gotta figure out how to take this motor out. I'm gonna figure out, I got my little lift plate, and I got my lift over there. So I'm going to give the old 1-2 college try, and then, but yeah, it's coming along. It's nasty stuff, man. Cutting fiberglass is rough, but it's got to be done. I'm trying to get it all done today so I don't have to freaking be itchy for crazy days on end. So this is the update. I got the new trailer wheels on there, so that way I'm just going to leave them on there, so when I go to sell it, I can just sell it with the new wheels, because I don't need those wheels. They were for this project. But yeah, here you go. Here's all the parts and stuff. I'm trying to save the utility trailer for the flat stuff. I'm trying to separate the metals. I got my magnetic metals, I got my aluminum, I got my wiring, all that wiring. I was trying to sell the throttle and stuff, but I don't know, I might just chuck it all, be done with it. But yeah, there's the tail. Alpha 1 Merc Cruiser. Yeah, I'll check in when I get more done, but this is how it's going. Alright guys, here's the boat after day 1 of cutting it apart. We got some snow last night, so some snow in it, but that's it. What a bitch. Fiberglass is not fun. Basically, I took the Sawzall, reciprocating saw, whatever you want to call it, and hacked off the top of it. Covered in it for like 2 days. I did it like a week ago. Took it to the dump. Cut up all the top pieces, threw it in a trailer, took it to the dump. But here at the bottom of the boat, the goal today is to get the rest of it cut up. Here is all the metal parts, all the fiberglass is in the dump, but here's all the metal parts. And then, like, I was looking to see if I could sell it. A lot of aluminum, a lot of metal. But then I started looking online, and these alpha drives are going for like, these alpha ones are going for like $100 or so. And that's when they're known to work. I have no idea if that thing works. I drained the fluid from it, just so if I take it to scrapyard, I get all the fluids out. So, and there's all the pieces to it, all the metal pieces, at least the pieces that I can salvage or scrap from it. And I got some old stuff. The motor block was, I pulled the motor out, and that was actually a big surprise because I thought I was going to be torn up and cracked up and stuff, but the drain plugs on each side of the block are missing, so the water must have ran out. So whoever drained it took those drain screws out and just never put them back, so the block doesn't look cracked. It's still sealed, frozen up and locked up and stuff, but I'm gonna pull it apart. I drained the oil out of it, and it was chocolate milk, so definitely some water, and I pulled like a gallon of water out of it before, but we'll see. But here's the boat. The goal is today is to get that thing finished, cut up. I don't know how I'm gonna do this because this is solid foam in here. I broke one Sawzall. I got my neighbor's Sawzall now, but I don't know how I'm gonna cut this up. It weighs a shit ton, plus it just rained and snowed yesterday, so I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm thinking about trying a chainsaw, but I don't want to cut the trailer. I want to try and I want to try to resell the trailer. I got new tires and stuff on it, but we'll see how it goes. I'll check in later and we'll see how this goes. Thanks. Alright guys, there's the boat all cut up into the trailer. Use the chainsaw, way easier. Oh my god, I would have never been able to do that with a Sawzall. There's no way. But got her done. She's in the trailer. Take her off to the dump later. But that's old Trashsport right there. So good to know that chainsaw is the way to go. So terrible anniversary gift. I wouldn't recommend getting a shitty boat for your wife on her anniversary. Doesn't fly well. Plus, when I tore this boat apart, you can see how rotten it is on the inside. Oh my god, some of the wood is just completely rotten out. This boat was trashed. The transom was 3 layers thick. Here's part of the transom, I think. So look how rotten that is. Look at all that rotten wood. This boat would have never been good, especially like putting the motor on it. Look at all that rotten stuff. This boat would have been terrible. Look at all that. That would have been a terrible idea to try to take her down the water. But so I think it was for the best. Terrible anniversary gift, but you live, you learn. You win some, you lose some. So, but the motor still might be good. I'll check that out later on, more in depth. But yeah, here she is. So if you're still here, thanks for following the life of the old Trashsport. She didn't make it. She was too far gone. I'm gonna try and sell the trailer to recoup my money. I had $50 invested in her. I'm gonna try and sell the trailer to recoup my money, but the trailer's still in good shape. Plus there's new wheels on it. So yep, there she goes. If you're here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next project.